So here's what I wrote yesterday. So when I say today, it's referencing yesterday. 100 years ago today, the 19th Amendment was ratified. The 19th Amendment passed by Congress on June 4th, 1919, and ratified, made it official. On August 18th, 1920, it granted American women the right to vote. And here's a quote from women's suffrage and the 19th Amendment. Achieving this milestone required a lengthy and difficult struggle. Victory took decades of agitation and protest. Today, I had the privilege and honor to speak with Fortune magazine alongside the president of Wesley Financial Group, McVey. I was honored to have been able to speak about my experience and point of view as a woman in the workplace and in the culture of our company. One of the things that I shared with the writer is that out of 395 employees, 241 are women. And out of 92 management positions in the organization, 48 are filled by women. I got to share this with Fortune magazine about women empowerment, speaking as a woman with the support of a male president who was beaming and proud, and he gladly stepped to the side so that I could speak. This has not always been my story. I have been silenced. My ideas have been taken and shared with no credit to my creativity. I have been called emotional. I've been called a bitch or combative for speaking truth and taking a stand when things are just flat out wrong. I've been asked to resign and keep quiet, one time with a monetary agreement and one time without, while calling out injustices in the workplace. I've literally been paid to be quiet. I didn't know any better back then. I thought that that's how it was, and I thought I must have been wrong. Today, as I shared with the writer, I told her how I had been hurt and abused by corporate. Corporate can really do damage on a person, especially a woman. The shame and guilt we feel as mothers and wives when we choose our family, or how choosing our family hinders us from climbing the ladder, or how we're told we never have to choose our work over our family, and yet every time we do, we feel incredible guilt and fear. Where did that feeling come from? Did we create it ourselves? And why do so many women feel that way if we are so supported at work? I have questioned my worth, my value, who I am because of corporate. I have cried numerous tears out of frustration, out of anger, out of rage, because strong women are told, scale it back a notch, while men get high fives and they are told, go balls to the wall. Hell, maybe I want to do that too, except I don't have those. And why do we get labeled strong women instead of women? Women, that is strong within itself. Standing alone or together, women. No need for any added words or explanation. Women. When people call me a strong woman, they have no idea. I'm just a trailer park kid from Oklahoma. Growing up in our home, the goal was not to go to college. It was to not get pregnant in high school and graduate high school. My mom got pregnant at 15 with my brother and she dropped out. My birth father abandoned my mom and me when she was 3 months pregnant with me. And we can view that as abandonment and that be our story of being a victim, but I look at it as he just moved out of the way so William, my dad, could step in and raise a good girl. I saw the world as vast and beautiful, and I saw opportunities, and I saw freedom. And don't get that confused with denying or avoiding all that is wrong with the world. I see that too. I just figured that I'd have a better shot at doing something about it if I scrape my way to the top and reach back down and pull people up, instead of sitting at the bottom begging for someone to hear me and pull me up. I've always been one who will just do it my damn self. I saw what the world could be, and I wanted it for myself. I've never lived my life from an I can't lens. I've always lived from a why can't I lens. I've learned to navigate a system that doesn't play by our rules. I didn't learn it to climb ladders and join forces with it. I learned it to merely survive. Just like a child of abuse, when the abusive parent comes home late, are they going to go to bed quietly tonight, or will there be a reckoning? The child learns to survive, to stay safe. That is no way for a child to live, but they do. And they grow up to become boundaryless people pleasers who are resentful AF. Or they become hardened humans who feel no empathy. They don't feel safe long enough to drop their guard and let anyone in. or they learn to navigate systems for survival, ducking and dodging, maneuvering the shadows so that they will never be found out. And that's how I learned corporate. But I can't keep my mouth shut long enough to go unseen or unheard. So it hasn't worked out too well for me until now. 2 years, 8 months at Wesley Financial Group. And I'm not merely surviving, I'm living. Wide open. My motives don't get questioned. I'm never guilted to choose between my family and my work. In fact, I've gotten a stern message from the CEO before because I was working on the weekend instead of being with my family. Family first, he always says. A friend of mine messaged me earlier to tell me how cool it was. It was Taylor, by the way. That I was speaking about women empowerment in the workplace on the 100th anniversary of women getting the right to vote. I had lost track of the days, and that history was not in the forefront of my mind. When I started writing this, I added a quote from women's suffrage in the 19th Amendment. Achieving this milestone required a lengthy and difficult struggle. Victory took decades of agitation and protest. Women, strong within themselves, standing alone or together, women. No need for any added words or explanation. Women, lengthy and difficult struggle, difficult, needing much more effort or skill to accomplish, deal with, or understand. Struggle, make forceful or violent efforts to get free of restraint or constriction. Decades of agitation and protest. Agitation, the action of arousing public concern about an issue and pressing for action on it. Protest, a statement or action expressing disapproval of or objection to something. Ladies, you are whole just as you are. Who you are is enough. Your voice matters. What you say is heard. You are not nagging when you have concerns and you voice them. You are not a strong woman. You are strong because you are woman. We've got a long way to go, but let's not lose sight of how far we have come. And may we not lose gratitude for men who link arms with us and raise us to the top without wanting anything in return, but because it's just the right thing to do. This loud and proud voice that spoke these true words today to Fortune magazine is the same loud and proud voice that has gotten me fired multiple times. Don't you ever stop speaking your truth, girl.